So what I have here is a regular 12-volt fixture that I took off my boat. It's a Catalina 320, and I'm getting ready to retrofit it with these LED strip lights. There's the red. It's hard to tell probably in the video. And there's the white. So, and the idea is we're going to get rid of this bulb here. So one of the big problems of these things is they get really hot. This is a white version. The red doesn't get quite as hot. You're going to have to kind of play around and see how hot your stuff gets. But I've decided that I'm going to get this put this metal plate in here. And it just got too hot with this is 15 LEDs on both sides. The other thing that you may want to consider is putting one of these diodes in the power line. Put it in series with the power line. It's going to drop. This drops about 1 volt, so it's going to really go a long way to prevent this from getting too hot. What's going to happen is your battery is going to charge, and when it charges, sometimes you get 14 volts. So this inline is going to help that out, particularly on the white LEDs. What I've found is necessary is to use this this extreme mounting tape, this 3M extreme mounting tape. Of course, these LEDs come with foam tape on the back, but I don't think the foam tape is that good. So what I'm going to do is put this extreme tape on either side of this metal here. And then what I'm going to do probably is mount a layer of extreme tape underneath to secure this metal piece. So I'll be able to take this metal piece off, and if I needed to, I could pry it off. What I've chosen to do is mount these strip lights, LED strips, to the to aluminum here. That's going to provide some heat dissipation, I think. And then I've soldered on my wires here with heat shrink that, and then I've got the underneath this aluminum strip, I have some of that that tape, the double back 3M tape, which is the heavy duty kind. I've got the red coming on this side, and then I've got the white coming on this side with a switch that's they're going to switch red and white. And then again, I've chosen to put a LED here. I've chosen to put a diode here that's going to get me 1 volt of drop, which I'm going to need to get that kind of voltage drop, because these LEDs are 12 volts, and when I'm charging my battery, sometimes I'm around 14.1, so I'm going to need that drop so I don't overload my these LEDs that can handle about 200 milliamps per LED. So I just don't want to go over the top with my 14.2 charge. The diode I'm using here is a 5399 diode. So as far as this diode's concerned, I'm running that on the common leg. So it's this one's rated at 1.5 amp max, and I think we're somewhere around 600 milliamps, 700 milliamps. So this is a plenty good diode for me. Now, are you going to be okay with that? I don't know. So you're just going to have to do some experimentation with it probably, and that's going to get you about 1 volt of drop. Now, I don't know what your the specs are, the LEDs you're going to be running, but I chose to just do that diode with 30 LEDs of white, and then I have another switch setting that's 15 LEDs of red, which is going to be less of a draw. So that's the situation that I have. Example, the strip light, they just come on a reel, kind of a foam tape thing on the back. Now they do sell versions that run that are LED versions that actually attach to a transformer, and they're plug and play, but we're not going to consider that right now. So this is a Catalina 320 Florescent Fixture 12 volt, and it's just got an end here for the bulbs, and the red is switched with the switch here, and here's the transformer unit. This was probably the point of failure, so what we're going to do is just direct wire the black and the red to the LED strips here, strip lighting I have here, and that's going to be it. So what you need to do is cut these LED strips on this line here, and then what I do is you strip. These are IP 64 rated. So what I ended up doing was taking this double back foam tape, the heavy duty stuff, put that on each end, and then I was able to just take out the fittings here that fit the bulb here in, and I was able to just pass the wires through and solder two lead wires directly onto that these strips. And then so what I've done is I was able to buy one of these switches that was an exact replacement to I just had a regular switch that like this. And so I was able to get exact switch here on Amazon for really cheap. So, and there's off. So I think the best way for me to do it was I use these kind of Wago style blocks here, where I wired the switch where I'm taking some of the power on one of the switch settings, running it here, the other power on the other switch setting, running it there, and this Wago connectors are kind of being my connector blocks, so I can easily just change the change the strips if I needed to, or add strips if I needed.